You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But that didn't stop you, did it? You knew you could get arrested. You could incur huge legal expenses, and you could possibly even lose your job. You were well aware of the consequences of driving drunk. But one thing's for sure. You were wrong when you said it was no big deal. Drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
Hi, I'm Stunning Stella Cheeks.
And I'm the Enigma Erin Klein.
And this is Not Your Demographic, a feminist wrestling podcast.
Shockingly, those exist.
Everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, you guys have names. Demis. Welcome, Demis.
Yeah, that's right.
We named you.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we didn't. I think Bobby did.
Yeah, I actually think Bobby was the one that came up with that.
You know, I'm going to have, people in my bridal party. Bobby's going to be one of them. He knows this, so it's not like a spoiler. You know, each bridesmaid or whatever usually has, a job or something that they're in charge of. And Bobby's job is he has to come up with a wedding hashtag because he's so good at that type of stuff. 95% of all the Plan 9 titles, the punny ones, all Bobby. Everything is Bobby.
Yeah.
He needs to come up with that shit.
Also, now that you have 260 characters, it can be a little bit longer. It doesn't have to be super short. Ours was for 140.
Well, also not a lot of people that there's a section of my friends who are really into Twitter, but everybody else will probably be Instagram and Facebook, so I wouldn't even worry about it.
Yeah, but the hashtag will still go on, and then you can do the same thing there.
Right, but I'm saying I would never have really been worried about character count because not a lot of people would be tweeting. It would just be you and Courtney and Meg and Lady J, and that's about it.
Basically, okay, that's fair.
And Bobby.
Yeah, true. Okay, fair.
And me, tweeting about my own wedding.
Yeah, right.
It's lit, everybody. How are you?
I'm fine. It's cold and awful weather here in Chicago. So
that's gonna be the weekly update for months.
Yeah, I'm cold and tired and depressed because the weather's terrible. Other than that, fine, I guess.
I never really have noticeably been affected by sad, but since I've been working out more, I've really noticed it in my desire to work out. Even I'm in the gym and I'm I don't know, I'm just gonna lift these weights or whatever.
Yeah.
Just mumble to myself I'm gonna do these squats. When I would go to the gym, usually, if I've made the effort and I'm at the gym, something switches in my brain. And I'm I'm here to work out. Mm-hmm. I can focus. Let's do this. But, in the winter, I guess, I'm well, whatever. I guess I'll just do these.
Yeah, it's...
not, phoning it in, but I'm, not trying hard. I'm still doing, heavy weights. I'm still doing, a 45-minute to an hour workout. But it's also, me just, the effort's just
working at a 7 instead of a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll do this.
I don't know. I've never really had the hard sads, but I feel this year it just slammed into me. I was it's dark and it's cold and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I think I also work a job where I don't really interact with other adults, so it's just weird because I'm just in this weird bubble of my own brain and this baby who I like, but who also says 4 words.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. I have a similar experience where, almost no one talks to me at my office. It's very rare for someone to come talk to me because they understand, just don't come talk to me. I can't see you when you walk up next to me. I have giant headphones on. Just send me an email. It's way easier. Or send me an email. I'm going to come talk to you. And then I'll be I'm prepared for a human to talk to me. So I have, really minimal interaction, but it's all with adults. So I feel it's weird that you have this, constant human interaction, but it's, non-intelligible. Yeah.
It's intelligible. I get it. Because, she has her own language.
You can, you know what a baby is saying if you're around them enough. You, understand that baby language.
Mostly it's her just pointing with her whole hand and going, I'm yeah, I get it. She has this thing now because I'm somebody who likes background noise, so I always just have the TV on, news or, a music channel. But I guess her dad's like that, too. So if the TV is not on, she, freaks out. Not because she's sitting there and watching it. She's not glued to it. It just needs to be on.
Oh, she needs, white noise.
Or I'll even put it on and put it on mute sometimes. It just, needs to be on. She doesn't even pay attention to it. It just, has to be on.
Interesting.
Because, we've conditioned her that, it's supposed to be on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ooh,
like I put on a show for her today, and she was like, didn't care at all. And I was like, all right, like that's fine. You don't have to be in the TV. Like in this moment, I want you to just sit down and watch the show because I need a break. But like she's not like addicted to the TV. It just like has to be on, which is nice because sometimes I'll just put on like wrestling and be like, fine, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, that's true. She's not paying attention to it
Mostly
anyway.
how I watch 205 Live and NXT, to be honest.
Fair.
Because it's there.
How are you? How's your week?
Fine, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like nothing notable happened. I worked a lot this weekend. I went to Songs of Good Cheer this weekend.
I don't know what that is.
It's at Old Town School of Folk Music.
Oh.
And it's been running for 19 years. It's put on by the Chicago Tribune and Old Town. And it's a group carol sing-along. It's something that Nick's family does.
Fun as fuck.
It's actually very fun, but it is a room full of white people.
Oh.
Room full of old white people. And it's just funny. And old, like, white liberals that are just like, we're so great. Because, like, the two Chicago Tribune people who helped run it and co-founded it are, like, liberal op-ed columnists, which, like, is fine. Like, I obviously subscribe to their views. But it was funny this year because, you know, one of the guys was making jokes, like, Trump jokes, whatever. And there's this one guy in front of Nick who had like a very military looking haircut and like had maybe never been to Songs of Good Cheer before and was like not having it. And his wife, like Nick's mom is a bad singer, but that's the point. Like you go there and it doesn't matter if you're a good singer. We're all singing. Like it's fine. Like Nick is a good singer. I'm like decent. His dad, like whatever, but his mom is like a notably like bad singer. Like I always make it a point to sit next to his mom because it bothers Nick so much. Oh god. So I like try and separate them. And like Nick's dad was like making fun of her and she's fine with it. She knows she's a terrible singer. The wife of that guy kept like looking at Patty like how dare you sing, and like Patty's just like living her best life singing Jingle Bells or whatever. It's really funny.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, we go every year. It's like it's really long. It's so long.
Like how long?
It's like 2.5 hours with a break, which is like a long time to be sitting and singing.
Yeah, it's a long time to be singing like the whole time. That's true.
Yeah, because you sing the whole time, like with breaks for them to like switch instruments and tell jokes or whatever. We were singing White Christmas, and I just like made a joke to Nick because it was like, oh, you got it, because it's like I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I'm like, well, your dream has come true. There was like, I always look in the crowd. There was like, not including the band members because it's a pretty diverse group, but there was like one Hispanic family and then like a black person in the audience, and I was like, yep, this is where we're at. We're at the Old Town School of Folk Music.
Yep.
And we're doing a polka.
Yep.
But it's fun. It's a nice tradition.
Well, that sounds super fun.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
That's really the only notable thing.
I guess I did. I went to the
Kindlemarkt.
Yes.
You're going to Germany. You have to like...
They all speak English. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
They're going to take one look at me and be like, this fucking American. That's what happened when I went to Liverpool. I would literally walk up to people and they'd be like, you're American.
Like, no, I'm Canadian.
No, I have that weird gait. Everyone knows I'm American. That like,
and the really big mouth.
Yeah, exactly. I have a giant mouth. My voice is abrupt. I can't hide it. I cannot say I'm Canadian. People are like, you're a liar. You're not Canadian. So they'll know. I'm not going to pretend like I can do that. But I did go to the market on Monday and today. I went on Monday and they were all sold out of the souvenir cups. And I was like, that's literally the reason I came here.
That sucks.
So I like to like sadly drink my drink out of a styrofoam cup and be like, well, I guess I'll just walk back to my office now. And I went today and got 2 of them and I'm done with my Christmas shopping.
Oh,
so
God,
glad.
I am not.
I'm so happy. I'm waiting for shit to get delivered, which is a pain in the ass. But other than
We're
that,
sitting amidst my wrapping.
Yeah, I have not started my wrapping. Oh, I like your paper.
It's just cats with Christmas hats.
It's very cute.
It's hard to wrap because it's shitty. I'm used, because I wrap presents at one of my jobs, like, I'm used to the good paper and how it folds
like industrial
and wraps.
paper.
And I always buy this shit, and I'm like, yeah, this is worth $3.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why I paid $3.
Minimum $9 on a roll of wrapping paper to have, like, sturdy
Well, this
wrap
was
around.
on sale. It was $9.99, but it was on sale for $3.99, but it's like $2 paper, but it does have cute cats on it.
Yeah, it is real cute, though. Oh,
What wrestling shirt are you wearing?
Made a crazy face.
Well, I didn't mean to. I just abruptly changed topics.
Yeah, you did. I am wearing my Wrestling is Forever shirt, literally just because it's comfortable. And
It's the most comfortable shirt in the world.
The most
Give
comfortable
Matt Cross
shirt.
your money.
I know.
It's cute and it's comfortable as fuck.
Comes in a good gray and a
Also,
black.
if you like enamel pins, he's got a great Wrestling is Forever enamel pin.
Yeah, I need to get one of those.
I
That's
have
my
one.
collection. I'm wearing that, and I'm wearing my New Japan hat. This is the one that does not belong to me, but I did buy it. So this is the one I gave Michael for Christmas.
Oh, okay. I was like, what do you mean? Who did you steal that from?
No, I brought it to show you the difference between the snapback and the fitted. A fitted is just it just is fitted. Yeah,
Hats.
yeah, exactly. But I brought this also because Jericho and
Yeah.
Omega had that fucking awesome promo.
Jericho just living his best life.
living his best.
You know who else
life.
is living their best life? And if I was in WWE, I'd be pissed. All the British guys. They get to get the notoriety and the fame and whatever money they get from being in NXT and WWE and all this stuff. And everybody loves them. Everybody pops so hard when they're... And they get to live their best life doing all the indie shit that they want to do.
And they have WWE credit cards because that's part of their contract. So they're getting like all the perks of being a wrestler.
I mean,
while
I know that they can't do every indie show they want, but they can do most
they do
of
a
them.
fucking lot.
It seems like they can do most of them, at least. I mean, I don't know their contracts, but it seems like they get to do all the fun ones that they love
Yeah,
and
I
would
agree.
want to do. And then they just get to show them and be like, yeah, whatever. We're just basically fucking WWE from behind. And they're giving us a credit card to do it.
Yep, absolutely. They're smart. The more like, it's weird because I feel like they're the version of the Young Bucks that the WWE has, that they're like fun and rowdy and do whatever they want, and like that's their appeal. And I think that on some level, Triple H understands like, if I make them come and do this here, it will never be the same.
Right.
And to let wrestling do its thing in the UK is like self-sustainable right now because it's on its own.
Totally.
It's literally on an island. So I feel like it feels like less of a threat to WWE, so they just let them do their shit.
There are, we are in this like divided times where there's tons of people who don't really watch WWE but watch a lot of the Brit stuff, but they
Right.
will tune into NXT takeovers to watch
Yes.
the British boys and stuff. Like, it's fucking brilliant. And
It is
also, like,
really smart.
Trent Seven and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are just cleaning up.
I swear to God, every time they come on television, they get better and better. They just glow up and up and up and
Yeah,
up.
that's
It is
the whole
amazing.
appeal because they're like
Ugh.
special attractions.
Ugh, they're
like,
so good.
it's brilliant, actually. And
All
also,
their
like,
wardrobes are like slick as fuck now
Yeah.
too. Ooh, I love it. I love watching them just get in their best life. It's great.
like them starting off their careers in their best life and Jericho being like, I can do whatever I want. I'm literally the best.
I love how he was like, yeah, not going to Royal Rumble or WrestleMania because I want to hang out with my band.
Also, like, if you had to go back to WWE and just, like, job to somebody or fight Kenny Omega, what would you do?
I know, right? Exactly.
Come on.
He was like, I had the best run of my entire life with Kevin Owens. I'm never going to beat this. Why would I ever go back?
Yeah, I mean, he's done, like, literally everything in WWE. What else does he need to do? What else? I'm sure some fucking mark's like, well, he hasn't done this, this, and this, but, like, at his stage in the career, are they gonna let him do any of that stuff? No.
No.
So, like, let him live his best life.
Yeah,
Also,
absolutely.
his, like, weird, like, slick back headband look is cracking me up.
Me too. I'm like, I know what it's like to grow my hair out too, Jericho. It's really unfortunate. And he
looks like
I'm
a
almost
mom.
there.
That's funny.
That photo of him and Will Ospreay, where Will Ospreay just looks overwhelmed and Jericho just looks fucked up. So fucked up.
Living his best life.
Oh, it's so funny. I love it. Good for him. He
Yeah.
was so loyal to them for so long, and now
And
he's
it's
like,
not that he's not like doing cartwheels and flipping them off, but he's like, I did what I needed to do for you. I'm my
Yeah.
own person. I can do whatever I want.
yeah, now I want to go
I
do
don't
this
need
stuff.
anything from you, and you don't need anything from me.
Exactly. Yeah. Good for him. I love it. I think it's great.
I'm wearing my EC3 shirt because...
Are you wearing the one with both sides printed correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I swear to God, every time I go to sleep, EC3 is in my dreams this week.
Weird.
None of them really sexual, like flirtatious, but none of them like overtly sexual. The one that I like really remember is that he showed up at NXT, but under the name Silas Young. And I was sitting in the audience very confused. I was like, what is happening?
I love that.
What is happening right now? But he was
Love
the EC3 character. But his name was Silas Young, and I was like, what is fucking happening
just
right now?
poach that name from Silas Young. They were like, you don't have a trademark on this? Shoop, this is ours now.
But he has been, even if like in the back, like he has been in like every one of my dreams this week.
That's
and
so
I didn't even
weird.
watch TNA last week. I did watch it today, but like it's not like there was no reason for him to, but just specifically him all fucking week.
That's so weird.
I mean, I'm not complaining. Like, he's the best. I love him so much. He's on my list. I believe he's my boyfriend now because Austin Aries has been terminated.
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember.
Me neither. I feel really conflicted about my Austin Aries shirt. What if he gets better again?
I mean, he does look a little better now, but also he's like a whiny little baby right now, so
Yeah.
you gotta wait for him to grow out of that, I think.
He's never going to grow out of that. He was always a whiny little baby, but he was also like
He also
doing
had a hot
stuff.
fiance that he
Well,
doesn't
he
have
also
anymore.
was doing stuff. Now he's just like, all of his Instagram is just pictures of his vegan food.
Yeah, that's not a good personality.
But I actually really like that shirt. Not that I need shirts. I haven't bought a wrestling shirt. That's not true. I bought one on Black Friday. Never mind. I was about to pat myself on the back, and I do not deserve it.
I don't remember the last time I bought one. I think I bought one at Chikara. I got that
I got that one too.
super comfortable one. I think that was the last time. I bought a bunch of hats though, so
That's true. It's not like you've been super good.
haven't not been super great. No.
News. Side note.
Okay.
Did you see that Patreon rescinded everything? I got an email today because technically we're creators.
Yes.
Because, like,
Yeah.
I have it all set up. I just haven't launched it.
We should launch it now. We should be like, because you took this fee away, we've decided to
But
officially.
I got an email. I was like, dear creators, we heard you.
Yeah, I was pissed about it too. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that. That was so stupid. Like, just ask if you want your Patreons, if you want your patrons to do that fee, like, below a certain level. Like, $5 up, it's not a big deal, but so many people depend on the $1 and $2 levels
Yeah.
and $3 levels. Like, you were just punishing people below $5, basically. It was so
Yeah,
stupid.
it was really dumb.
So I'm glad that they got around. Like, do you know who Jeff Jax is? He does questionable content. It's a really long-running online web series.
Maybe. I read Amanda Palmer's thing, which was very long, and she, like,
Yeah.
quoted a bunch of people, and that sounds familiar. I think she quoted that guy.
Yeah. He lost like 320 patrons in like a week.
Yikes.
And so posted, he was like, I'm going to talk to the CEO on the phone later today. And apparently he lost enough people that they like put him in touch with the CEO, and he was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And like basically every person they contacted said the same thing. Like, you just lost us so much money. Why would
And most creators were like, just make us pay that fee.
Yeah, exactly. And like yes, there is a problem that needs to be solved here, but you're solving it by
Punishing the customers.
Like, why wouldn't you just batch these transactions? And part of it too was making it so that you got your bill on the anniversary of your pledge, which means that creators have to put stuff out every time someone subscribes to them, that they have to like push out their levels for them.
Weird.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. Like, don't do that. Batch it on the first of the month. If people aren't reading this correctly, then make sure that they understand it. That's a problem on your part as a platform.
Yeah,
But
the
they're
thing
not doing it. I'm glad
The thing that I read was like basically somebody being like, I don't remember who it was, so pardon me, but if any of you subscribe to Amanda Palmer, like I do, you read this thing, maybe it was very long, but it was very informative. But it was basically like, look, this is a capitalist platform, and they are always going to make shitty decisions, and it's up to us, the consumers and the creators, to draw our lines and say, what are we willing to work with? What can we think we can push back on? And when is it time to leave? Like, we can't be loyal to the platform because we live in a consumerist, like, they're not here to help us create art.
Right.
They are helping us create art, but they're still a business.
Right,
so we have
exactly.
to be really smart about that. But also, like, we also need to be smart about where our lines are and what's willing to...
Right.
When do we move platforms?
Right, exactly.
Which I thought was, like, very smart.
I thought it was interesting too to like get wind of like Drip, which I had never even heard of because it's invite only, but is the same kind of thing as Patreon and is like slowly being rolled out. And I thought that was smart too, to expose Patreon to like there are other options and
Right.
people will start to go to them if you don't listen.
I.e. MySpace.
Right? Exactly.
Zynga.
Oh, live journal.
So let's just pull the Band-Aid off. Rich Swann goes down.
Ooh, that's right. That was this last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
2018 is going to be the year of us being like, I love him. Except maybe I don't. I don't know all the facts. I think I love him. We'll
Yeah.
see. all my love can be rescinded.
At any moment. At any moment.
Hashtag as far as we know.
Yeah.
Anytime you write online about, like, it doesn't have to be male either, like, obviously in this case, but, like, sometimes women say dumb shit too. Like, look at the evil Elise thing. Like, obviously saying something and, like, doing what Rich Swann did is very different.
Very different,
But, like, it just needs to be like, hey, I love this person. Hashtag as far as we know.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was... I mean, that police report was brutal.
It was fucking brutal, yeah.
With,
I read
like,
the whole thing and was
witnesses.
Yeah, two separate
just,
witnesses.
Like, two, you know, he said, she said, like, people saw this shit.
Also, like, both of them jumped out of a moving car. Like, I think the thing that was the most frightening about that is that she was like, I knew that he was going to physically hurt me, and how did you know? Do you know because he's done it before, or was it just so frightening in that moment that you were like, I have to jump out of this car? And, like, if that's how it was, and you'd never experienced that before, like, I can't imagine that fear of being like, I've never been frightened of this person in my life, but right now I know they're gonna hurt me, and I have to get out of this car. Like, oof.
I mean, it was probably brutal. The former.
Yeah, I mean,
to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Or there's a pattern that escalates to this. It's not like this just fucking happens out of nowhere. She did say he had a temper, so...
It's just like, I mean, you never know. Fucking Mr. Dancy
Good
Pants.
time Dancy Pants, yeah.
He can't handle this.
Yikes. It's
like, it sucks on, like, a fan level because he, as a performer, is very talented and, like, he has such a babyface persona. So many people love him. And then to find out that he is, like, a shitbag.
Yeah, it's, Yep.
Anyways, bye, Rich Swann.
Yep. Bye.
Time for Cedric Alexander to rise from the ashes.
I know. For real, like, no one could have come out of this better than Cedric Alexander. I wanted Cedric to win anyway, but then it's like, this is so weird. It feels like you just replaced him, but you didn't, because he's like a totally different character. It's very weird.
I don't personally feel like, oh, let's just replace a black guy with a black guy.
Yeah.
I really don't. In this particular situation, I don't feel that because Cedric did almost win in the Drew Gulak one.
Yeah.
And Gulak won by stealing his pin, so it makes sense if they're going to build a feud in a really short amount of time. Cedric is perfect.
Is the better choice. Absolutely. No, I totally agree. It was just like...
Like, optically, obviously,
yeah, optically it was just weird.
The black guy with the black guy, but, like, storyline-wise, it actually makes
does
a
actually
lot
work.
of sense.
You're right. Yeah, that's true.
Especially, like, they put together a package explaining
really
all
quickly,
of that
yeah.
for the beginning of 205 Live.
Yeah, that's right. I saw
so,
that.
like, it does make sense.
Yeah. And I thought that I thought Drew Gulak did a great job. It was just out there.
Said it, done.
Said it and done.
Oh, I don't know if you've heard. We have a new match tonight to find Rich Swann's replacement. The end.
Yeah,
we're moving on.
WWE has revoked Rich Swann's opportunity. That's the last thing we will ever say about this. It was just so slick, and like he's the perfect character as like a weird politician to just throw that out there and have everyone just accept it. Like it was very smart on their part.
I put this on our Tumblr, but did you see him teaching other WWE superstars how to play dreidel?
I saw that you posted it. I have not watched it yet.
It's really adorable.
Ugh, I love him so much. He's the best.
He's the best.
I also love that Drew Gulak wears his wedding ring on TV because it like also fits his character.
I know. I always think that.
I've been noticing
like, it is such a politician thing to do.
Absolutely. And it's like a really nice ring, but it's also like big and like noticeable.
Right.
And so it like totally works within the context of it. I'm assuming it's his real ring. If it's not his real ring, that's an even better touch. Like, that's hilarious.
It is.
But
funny.
I've been noticing it more, and I was like, I love that you wear that. That's so
it's smart. I've noticed it too, actually.
Yeah.
James Ellsworth is a fucking genius.
A genius. That photo was so funny. It was so funny.
Smart.
His little hands crossed in the corner.
Little hands. The like cyborg in quotes. Becky Lynch crossed out. Like, it's so funny.
It was so
and
smart
to use like Sienna's TNA name and Chelsea Green's TNA name, like,
yeah,
to be like, no, I'll go back on TV. I don't give a fuck. And
yeah.
like, I love that all the like, not all, but like a lot of the women were like, fuck yeah, let's do this. Why don't you?
I'll beat the shit out of you. Absolutely.
Baker was like, somebody book this fool so I can make him toothless as well as chinless. And I was like, yes, Britt Baker.
Oh,
and what a great list.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it too because I feel like that's so sustainable. Like, it's so weird that WWE gave him this like perfect bow at the end of it. Like, you could send him out and he could be like, LOL jobber from WWE who fights these men, and LOL he has no chin. But he has like a really sustainable gimmick now, and I'm so here for it. I love it. I just think it's great. He's
also,
a fucking
I love
genius.
at the end of the list that had just Carmella in big
capital letters. Yeah.
So fucking brilliant. God, I can't wait to see some of those matches. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I'm totally here for it. I think it's great.
He went from like a fucking nobody jobber to having this incredible run in WWE that like
really
was a lot. Like, the fans got him over because they like would like absurdly cheer for him and they were smart and signed him, but he did the work. He did the heavy lifting. He sold that character, and then like just the like know-how and savvy to do the like Cody Rhodes style list, like fucking brilliant. I was like flabbergasted. I was like, what?
So good.
What?
I love it. I thought it was so good. 1000% respect for Ellsworth now.
Yeah,
he nailed it. He really, he's living his best life. More people living their best life.
Also, in weird, like, intergender wrestling, WWE is having this mixed tag tournament thing.
Gonna be terrible. It's gonna be their dumb mixed tags, and
their mixed tags are the worst.
And
but it's
everyone's gonna hate it because everyone's so excited at first. Like, it's gonna be intergender wrestling. It's not. It's
mixed
not.
Tag. It's very different.
It's very different. It's gonna be their dumb thing, and it's on Facebook, which is I hate that they're doing it.
It's supposed to be like It's supposed to be like Dancing with the Stars, but wrestling, but also intergender, and like look. But I guess at the end of it, $100,000 does go to a charity. So, like...
all right.
Unless it's fucking, a terrible charity.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be. Maybe it's
gonna be like fucking Salvation Army or...
the Red Cross.
Yeah. Well, yeah, friendly reminder, in this time of year, don't give your money to Salvation Army.
Yeah, they're fucking terrible. They treat people like shit.
They specifically treat LGBT people like shit.
Yes, definitely. And women.
But, like, I feel like they're more vocal about the gay stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you're in Chicago, I make all my house donations and things like that. I always go to Brown Elephant and Howard Brown.
Yeah, Howard Brown and, Village. It's right up on...
oh, yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple in the city. I like that one a lot.
Just do some research. I know you gotta get, those pots and pans and those old t-shirts out of your house, but don't go to Goodwill. Don't go to Salvation Army.
Yeah,
find some place that's not terrible.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What other news you got?
Injury updates. Noam Dar, injured. Out, has to get surgery on his knee.
Baby.
Yep, poor baby. So he'll be out for several months, probably, because he has to rehab his fucking knee. Also injured, DJZ. Ruptured 3 discs in his spine and wrestled while they were ruptured.
Did he do that when he jumped off the ceiling? Where did he do that?
Probably. I'm gonna guess so.
He did that the last AEW show, just jumped off the ceiling.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, so that happens.
That guy can't catch a break.
Yeah.
But he does seem to heal very quickly.
Yeah, he really does.
So...
And he also wrestled with 3 ruptured discs somehow, so I feel like he's already kind of superhuman.
Matt Cross wrestled with like a broken leg.
For months.
These people's is crazy.
These people's is crazy. Oh, also, exciting lady news. Sasha and Alexa were the first women to ever wrestle in Abu Dhabi. They had to wear full bodysuits, which I have, like, mixed feelings on. But I'm also, like...
They didn't have to cover their, like, faces or anything.
Yeah, and it's also the first time women have ever wrestled there. So I'm kind of like, all right, I'm willing to take it this first time because... If you try to push for everything at once, sometimes people will just back down forever, or will just back up forever. And the suits
that they wore fly as fuck.
Yeah, they were fly as fuck, and they did look very similar to the gear that they normally wear.
Right.
And apparently, I don't remember the seamstress's name. She's amazing. People love her. She threw that shit together in like 3 days.
She threw Alexa's together because Sasha's husband...
Right, you're right.
...did hers. Because I know, because he tweeted about it. He was like, sometimes she's gotta sew all night.
That's true. I forget that she's married to him.
I'm sure they worked as, like, a team in tandem. I'm sure their costume department, whatever. But, like, I do know that he was like, I did this. Everybody praised me. Which, like, he needs to be praised. He makes fire gear.
All of her gear is so good. He makes a bunch of gear for people in the indies, too. And is, like, really fucking good at it. His name is Kid Mikaze. That's his name.
Yeah.
He has a name. He's not just Sasha's husband.
I mean...
Right, he can take a little of that, but he also is a great artist, and so I'd like to point
out... not all men.
Not all men are great artists. I agree.
Did you watch Tote Steve's? Did you see my beautiful present from Challengers?
Oh my god.
The boys who run the comic book shop that I go to used to work at, I've been going to forever. They got me a Lana action figure for Christmas.
Excellent.
And he taped the gift receipt on the back and goes, I don't know if you had it. And I was like, Patrick, I do not have this.
I did not have this. Thank you.
He got me my first wrestling action figure ever because he got me my CM Punk a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
He was very excited when I started to get into wrestling. Because years ago, I met CM Punk at the store before I was into wrestling. And Patrick was like, you know who that is? And I was like, I don't know. He's hot. Yes. I had no idea. He goes, that's CM Punk. And I was like, Patrick, I don't know what we're talking about. And then I got
oh my god, can you imagine doing that now if you were like, you just met CM Punk? And
I've met him at the comic book shop many times. We've told this story on the podcast before. I don't get nervous around CM Punk. I have actually seen him a bunch. He comes in the comic book store or whatever. I get really nervous around his wife. Yes. I've met her 3 times and my body turns in on itself.
Asia just seems so cool.
She is so cool. She said I had great style.
Highest compliments.
Yeah. Got so nervous around her. I'm getting nervous thinking about it, thinking about my interaction. I was like, hi, I'm just working here, whatever. It's fine, this is just my job. But he comes in all the time. I'm like, oh, hey, you want your books?
LOL blase.
Don't even care about you. I mean, I will defend you on the internet every day, but also that's how I feel.
I support your feelings.
I have met, because I go to comic book conventions, I have met a lot of celebrities. The 2 people I've gotten the most nervous around is AJ Lee and Patrick Stewart.
Oh,
those people I was just like, my body. And I was like the asshole in the Star Trek line that was like, can you sign my copy of The Tempest, please? And he was so excited because me and my boyfriend at the time, he was getting Hamlet signed, I was getting The Tempest signed. And Patrick Stewart were trying to talk to us about Shakespeare, and his handler was like, you have to move along. There are a bunch of Trekkies behind these nerds.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be very nervous around him as well.
I think I would just die if I met Bette Midler.
Oh, yeah. You would just, turn into glitter and dust.
I would be like one of those girls who meets Justin Bieber, and I would just start screaming and crying. And she would be like, you're an adult woman. I'd be like, I don't know what to do.
That is not how she would respond. She'd be like, my child. I see you have my face on your body.
I don't know. I feel like she'd be creeped out by my tattoo.
She literally would not. Are you kidding? She's a famous showgirl who loves drag queens. Of course that she would be so flattered.
Well, I tweeted at her once and she didn't say anything, so.
Well, she gets a lot of tweets. Okay.
Also, William Shatner never said anything about my Kirkin. It did get removed from Instagram, though.
So, you can't really blame him for that one.
It got flagged as inappropriate because it was an up-close shot of my vagina with a Captain Kirk merkin on it. It was covered. I don't know why it got taken off.
Well,
Free the vagina.
Gotta free the nipple first. That's the first hurdle.
Free the merkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you don't know what a merkin is, you should look it up on the internet.
Just follow me on Instagram. Did you watch Total Divas?
I don't remember. What was this week? Was this the one where the bells
Lana
went?
was like, I don't want to have Rusev's baby, everybody, at our house.
Yes.
Our house that is the tackiest house. Okay, what is that bright blue? What is that steel desk? Is that supposed to be some, Cold War shit? Is that, a Russian thing? I don't know. I
only saw parts of this. I wasn't really paying attention. So I have, the storyline, but was not looking at, the details of their home.
It's not great. Nick, who lives in a very beautifully decorated house. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, it's good.
But also has, really no opinions about what I do. I always ask him, I'm like, I'm going to do this to the house. And he's like, great, I love it. Super great. But he was like, that house is tacky as fuck. I was like, oh, hello, Nick. Showed up to the party tonight. Also, I have to watch Total Divas with Nick every week, which is why I'm usually a little bit behind on it. And I yelled at him this week. I was like, can you keep the running commentary to yourself?
I have to say that to Michael every time he watches Total Divas with me. I'm like, I really need you to keep it to yourself, okay? Can't deal.
I get it, but also, I am trying to consume this.
Right? I was like, how would you feel if I just talked over everything that you watch? You'd be very irritated. And he's like, yeah, I know.
Also, Nick was like, Seamus looks terrible. And I was like, he does not. Does not. There was he was wrestling Seth Rollins, and they did the picture of him this week, him next to Seth Rollins, and I was like, man, I would fuck Sheamus over Seth Rollins. I absolutely would.
So weird.
I have a Sheamus boner.
Way more into Jesus, Seth. Way more.
Yeah, but we've established that your
That's like
type
my
is
thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, and yours is weird Scottish, UK, Irish dudes.
Yeah, mine is
Giants. Giant people from the upper UK.
giant Celts.
Yeah. And space vampires. Those are
Yeah.
the two. Those are the only two.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that
Okay,
seems
okay.
normal to me.
Sure.
Brie and Nikki tried to skateboard, and Nikki was like, "This is like wrestling," and Brie was like, "It is not."
It is not like wrestling.
She was like, "I'm glad I know how to fall, or else I would have broken my wrist."
Yeah.
Alexa loves pigs. I guess this is where she adopted
So
Larry
cute.
Steve. Mm-hmm. I gotta be honest, Alexa, not seeing a great future for you on next season of Total Divas.
Yeah, she and Carmella are not interesting enough to
Nia
be.
gonna stay. Mm-hmm. Alexa and Carmella.
Alexa's gonna turn into an Emma.
Yeah, Alexa. Yeah, I don't. But Emma was never on, so Alexa will turn
That's what
into
I mean.
like a Summer Rae.
Oh.
Summer was on, but then would appear still with terrorizing Natty.
Oh, okay.
Speaking
I
of
see what you're
which,
saying.
Natty is a terrorist. She was so mean to her parents. I also think I identified a little bit because I feel like I talked to my mom like she was a kid sometimes. And I was like, this is hitting a little close to home.
I just...
But also, who buys a house for somebody and then
And then is like, I'm actually your landlord. Like, that's not how that works.
I love that her parents were like, here's our house agreement.
Yeah.
You have to sign this because you need to leave us alone. We're adults.
Yeah. I cannot.
To her credit, she was like, she conceded and she signed it and she was like, yeah, I get it, you know?
Yeah. Like, if I'm going to show up as your landlord, I need to give you notice. If I'm going to show up, as your kid, it's a different story, but...
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's super, super fair.
I think it's funny that she calls her her mom and dad mommy and daddy, but it works. It doesn't ever feel creepy or weird, but it's just
Yeah.
Natty is just this daddy,
Yeah.
mommy.
Yeah, she's just an oversized,
She's
Cupid doll.
Yeah, she's like a little brat. Mommy, what are you doing? Did you put bacon grease down the sink? And her mom is always like, I don't know what's happening.
She is pilled out 1,000% of the time.
I love Natty's parents so much.
Oh my god.
I love them so much. Here, we'll do a quick TNA 2-minute. 2-minute Impact TNA. We used to do the Eva Marie minute. Now I've decided that we're going to do a TNA 2-minute.
Okay, do you need me
No
to
more
set an
than
alarm?
2,
Are
yes.
you doing it? Okay.
You do it. No more than 2 minutes. Because you don't watch it. I'm going to guess 95% of our listeners don't watch it. I watch it. I love
right.
it. I dream of EC3.
Alright, so we're starting with 2 minutes? That's
Yeah.
what we'll do. I feel like we could maybe even go up to 3. There's
No.
No?
'Cause
Gotta do 2?
it's alliteration. TNA 2.
Alright.
Even though it's
3
Impact. Oh, it does.
also has a T in it.
But it's not like a T. But it's not like a T.
Yeah, it's not the same consonant
It's like
sound.
a thr.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
TH
Let's
is not the
get
same
an
as a
Irish
T.
person to say it, I guess. And they take that H away. And
Tree.
yeah.
Let's
TNA
just call,
tree.
let's just call Sheamus and be like, we need a quick...
Can you just
All right. Go. Tell me when.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. Stopwatch. We're doing 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay, ready?
Or less.
Go.
TNA has this new... I know it's Impact. TNA has this new ref who looks like he's 17, and it is very distracting.
Weird.
He was there a lot. He looks very young. I mean, good for them, but also, what the fuck is happening? Cult of Lee versus Ishimura. It was kind of boring. I don't really get Ishimura. I love Trevor Lee. I don't care about anything that he's doing, which is disappointing. But Desmond Xavier is also there. I love Desmond Xavier.
Oh, I like him too.
3-way. It's the second in their tournament. Rosemary won this one against... I know you know spoiler, but don't tell me. Mm-hmm. Against Sienna and Allie. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be Rosemary and Laurel Van Ness to fight for the #1 contendership. I'm into that. That seems weird. Battle of the Lipsticks. Cool. Whatever. OVE, Ohio versus Everything, gave the weirdest promo. They called it gang warfare against LAX, but then TDT came out, which I've never heard before.
I don't
It's
know
a
who that is.
Quebecois tag team. They're dressed like lumberjacks. Into it.
Cool.
Super into it.
Awesome.
French lumberjacks on board.
Awesome. Cool.
Allie had a really cute backstage segment with Gail Kim where she was like, Gail, I failed you. And Gail was like, no, You didn't fail me. You're great. And it was really heartwarming.
Aw, that's nice.
KM just went into a gym and beat up a bunch of people to prove that he was tough, but like just beat up a bunch of strangers. It was weird. EC3 had a grand championship match against Matt Slidell. It was a draw. It was actually a really fun match. And then afterwards, you get to see old school EC3 being a heel and like pretending to like choke because he keeps calling Matt Slidell a choke artist. Also, EC3 super hot. Matt Slidell, great wrestler, standing shooting star press all day all night.
Excellent.
Ethan Page joined TNA. He's now in this weird thing with Abyss, but they're doing like Park, and Park. They're doing like lawyer commercials. It's weird. I'm running out of time.
10 seconds.
Lashley and Dan Lambert wrestled versus Storm and Moose. It was weird. He got a pin. Lashley looks mad. Johnny and Canadian Story versus Eli Drake and Adonis.
That's it. What happens with Adonis?
Johnny and Canadian Story won, but then Eli Drake was like posturing in the ring, and then Alberto El Patron was like, I'm here too, and everyone was like, I roll. Right. The end.
The end. All right, that was a good 2 minutes. Woo, man, you got through that. Good job.
We might need to extend it to 3.
That's all I'm saying. I think 3 is okay. I was like, this show's long for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's like... But I got it all out.
You got through it, but I could see you panicking.
Yeah, near the end I was like, But big thing that Ethan Page is on it. Like, that's a big thing now. Yeah. And also, really into this Quebecois team. Google them. They're called TDT. Cool. It's a French thing. It's like Le Tabernacle de... Whatever. It's French. I wrote it down, but who cares?
Who cares?
I took many years of French.
Yes,
my French teacher in high school put on English movies that were just set in France. So he was not a great teacher.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But we did watch The Scarlet Pimpernel a lot, which is a fucking excellent movie. Yeah. It's terrible, but it's great. Hallmark classic, Jane Seymour. Yes, please. Ian McKellen's in it.
Oh, I love Ian McKellen.
So weird. NXT is on USA tonight, but we're not watching it.
Nope. I was home and I was like, oh, I could be watching this, but I realized I had already started listening to Vivaldi's Gloria. I was like snapping it and listening to opera, and I was like, well, I already started this, so I guess I'll just listen to it all the way through. It's like an hour. I loved it. It reminds me of Christmas.
Cien's celebration was weird, right?
Yes.
It was like, I guess because I'm not very familiar with him outside of NXT, I assumed that he could speak more English than he can. Because maybe he can, but this promo made it seem like he knows 5 words.
Yeah, he speaks some English, but, I mean... They let him cut his promos in the back in Spanish a lot.
Yeah, it was just like a weird, and the crowd was weird because the crowd like wanted to cheer for him, but they were like, "You're a bad guy," but also we like you. It was like it just was weird. Yeah, I'm happy that he's a champion. I think Selena is a great manager, but it was just like I felt like it was a weird celebration.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Lars gave an interview, and you know what? Lars is fine. I have no opinions about him, but. I feel bad because I feel like I'm making fun of somebody that can't control something, but I know he has a weird way of talking, right? Mm-hmm. The way that he talks gathers spit in the corner of his mouth, and also you can see all of the spit moving in his mouth, and it is so vile and disgusting to me that I'm like... I have
not noticed that before, and I will not be able to not notice it now. I can't
focus on anything else, and I'm like, I want to support you as, like, a talent and not take away from everything you do, because clearly this is just... But, like, can we drink some water before we do some promos? Because it is the nastiest... It's like when you listen to, like, public radio or, like, a podcast, and you can hear somebody's saliva in their mouth, like, they have a particularly, like... voice, and it's like, you're talking about this very important tax reform, and I don't care because I want to kill myself because I can hear all the spit in your mouth. So I don't know what he said in that interview.
I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie.
Because I was freaking out.
I was not paying attention.
Trent Seven had a match against Killian Dane, but, like, it was a squash match. Trent looked fine, but, like, it was a squash match. It was basically everybody cheered for this guy's entrance. Now watch him get murdered.
Yeah, exactly. Which is fine. That was a good use for him.
The Undisputed Era had a promo where Bobby Fish and Adam Cole were fine, but it was like Kyle O'Reilly was just like whispering. It was like, what are you saying, bud? Can you speak up, buddy? I was like, I don't want to turn my TV up just for you, because then everything's going to be blaring, but like...
Also, I can't hear what you're saying.
Kyle, come on. Come on, Kyle. Sonya had the grudge match against Ruby Riott. I think it was a no DQ.
Mm-hmm.
It was
so as well.
I thought thought Sonya looked pretty good, actually. She won, and I think it was smart. Like, Ruby and her moved up. Ruby won the first one. Sonya won the second one. They're obviously not going to have a rubber match because they're both on different programs, Raw and SmackDown, respectively. Right. I think it was smart to be like, we're going to finish this, but we're leaving them on an even playing field so that it's not like one of them is tougher. Like, they're going their separate ways. Right. Mm-hmm. I thought it was smart. And I think, you know, the past couple times I've seen Sonya in the ring, she's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, I think that her ring work has definitely improved. Her promo work needs work, for sure. But, like, it is nice to see, like, if you let her wrestle, she can be good. They just have to let her wrestle. That's
Agreed.
The thing.
And, I mean, I think they will.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be the bruiser or whatever. I mean, the way that she won that match with the triangle on the ropes, like, knocking Ruby out, that looked brutal, but it also looked really good.
Yeah, her
way
moves
she
are
did
more
it,
polished than they used to be. Yeah, for
and
sure.
And that was a pretty quick match. It wasn't like, you know...
Yeah, I was surprised by how short it was.
No, I meant
not short. Yeah.
I meant, like, fast-paced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was you know, because sometimes when you have not younger talent, but, like, greener talent, the matches are much slower.
Yeah.
And I thought this moved at a clip, and it didn't seem uncomfortable that it was moving at a clip.
Yeah, maybe that's why it felt short to me, because it was just, like, it just went from one end to the other very smoothly.
Yeah. Ember Moon was giving an interview where, like, a bunch of people had, like, cell phones in her face. And then Billy and Peyton came in and were fucking hilarious. I love that Ember was like, I mean, I'll face whichever one. Which one of you wants to face? And Billy was like, me. And Peyton was like, no, me. And they kind of had the back and forth. And Ember was like, looks like you have an iconic problem. And Billy's face when Ember said iconic problem was so funny. Billy, like, scowled and rolled her eyes at the same time in only the way that Billy can. And it was fucking brilliant.
She gives such a good face.
She gives such good face. And then they had, like, a little tiff, but, like, they settled on Peyton. I like that they, like, teased a breakup that was, like, terrifying for a moment, and then they solved their, like, problem within 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. And I was like, they love each other.
They're sisters, basically.
Ugh, they're the best.
I love them.
Yes, now we know that they're not lesbians because she's dating Ty Dillinger. But, like, storyline-wise, in my head, they're still lesbians.
Agreed. Canon, they're lesbians.
Canon, they're lesbians. IRL them, maybe not lesbians, maybe just, like, sister wives, best friends. Mm-hmm. In WWE, straight up lesbos.
Gotta, yeah.
In my head, at least.
That's canon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the main event was Cassius Ohno versus Johnny Gargano. And shockingly, Johnny Gargano won.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that. What is going on with Cassius Ohno? They don't give a fuck about him, I guess.
He's just there to bring indie cred and get other people over. I mean, it's good that Johnny won, because he's been losing a lot, and he's been, like, having his internal struggle, and this obviously, it's a good first step for him to, like, come back on the rise, so that, like, eventually when Ciampa comes back,
right,
which will be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's been some time now.
He will be built up again, and then we can have a feud with weight, instead of just, like, oh, Ciampa's coming back to beat up this jobber.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does feel shitty that Cassius is the one that's always thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like they liked who he was as Chris Hero, but then forgot, like, if you make him Cassius Ohno, that's a different character. And it seems like they don't know what to do with Cassius Ohno at all.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, because he's still good. He's still a great wrestler.
This match was excellent.
Yeah.
And, like, commentary put it over so well, and, like, the crowd was super into it, and it was an excellent match.
Yeah.
And you could tell that, like, they know each other so well.
Yeah, they've obviously wrestled a fucking million times.
It was great. It was an excellent match. It just, like, I mean, I was shocked that Johnny won.
Yeah.
Shocked, I say.
Shocked,
I say. Let's talk about Raw, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about Raw.
All right, let's do it.
I guess that's the new Raw intro.
You can sing it every week if you'd like.
I guess if people love it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't care what people like. I do this for me.
That's true, you do.
I don't give a shit
don't
about
at me.
any of you. Don't at me. My self-esteem is so high. Y'all, I got subtweeted. I got subtweeted hard.
Oh, great.
It was so funny. Raw opens with Joe giving a promo, talking about how he's the best.
I'm Joe, I'm the best.
I'm Joe, I'm the best. I wear these dumb shorts, but it doesn't matter because I'm the best.
I'm the best.
Nobody cares. I've always worn these shorts. Nobody even notices anymore.
Always will. I'm the best.
Joe. Joe. Hashtag Joe. I thought it was weird that they did that backstage thing where, like, Dean and Seth were, like, watching and they were like, somebody better get Roman. I don't know if he knows that the show has started. It was so weird.
Is that what they said?
No, that's not what they said, but that's what I felt like to me. Like, oh, somebody better get Roman. Like, why is he not with you?
Yeah,
you
where
guys
is
are
Roman?
on the clock. Is he running late?
Right. What television is he standing at next to sideways? Like, he needs to make his way closer to your television.
Oh no, Joe's so smart. He tricked all his shield coming out, but he's got his friends at the bar. Blindsided. I like that they used that to set up 3 separate matches.
Yeah.
I thought that was smart, and doing pairings that were, like, unusual. I thought that was smart. And, frankly, I like that the other people were not on ringside for a lot of them.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought that really helped. Like, the Seth-Sheamus match was fine. I didn't think it was, like... I feel like we've seen that particular match a million times.
We did not talk about news. Sheamus has spinal stenosis. And
I did not know that.
You did not know that.
The poor Celtic Giants.
Yes.
All my Celtic Giants are getting hurt.
Yeah, so he's probably going to have to, like, straight retire in, like, the next 3 months.
No.
Yeah. So...
Explain to me what spinal stenosis is.
It's what Edge has that made him retire.
No.
Yeah. Remember that guy who died in the ring in Mexico?
Ah.
He has spinal stenosis. Or he did before he died.
You said that so flippantly.
I mean... It's true. Yeah, so he's been diagnosed with that. He can still wrestle, obviously, but watching this match with him and Seth, all I felt was horrifically uncomfortable.
Because they didn't really, like, pull any punches.
It was... But there was a point at the very beginning where Sheamus, like, landed and had to brace himself, and so his head didn't snap forward, and his eyes got so fucking big, and I was like, nope, this is no longer fun. I can no longer watch you wrestle.
This is no longer fun.
I can no longer watch you wrestle without being like, you're gonna break your goddamn neck.
No, my Celtic Giant.
Yeah, so it's also weird knowing, like, they're in this title feud, but, like, Sheamus has to drop this belt at some point because he can't wrestle very much longer.
Poor Sheamus, obviously, but also, like, poor Cesaro.
Cesaro's cursed. That man is cursed. He has been tag champions twice.
Cursed.
And both of his partners had career-ending injuries.
But that solo match with Roman was flames.
It was really good.
It was really good on both of their parts.
It was very weird because I was like, why are we doing this? There are other people on the roster, but you're right that it set up from this initial interaction, and so, like, it made sense within the context of the story. But as a bigger WWE picture, I was just like, do they not know other people work here? Like, it really feels that way sometimes.
And I don't think that they do.
I don't think that they do either. I think that you're right. And so in that sense, it was kind of hard for me to get into that match. But by the time it got to the end, I was like, hey, these guys are really making this happen.
We all complain about Roman this, Roman that. I mean, I don't, because he's the male lead in my vampire novel. But
obviously,
then I only wrote like 8,000 words for him. That was
out of
really. I was out of 50,000, but I was really into it. But then I took like a day off, and then it was just like, oh, I'm busy.
Oh, that's the end of that.
But my goal is to hit 50 by the next NaNoWriMo, so I have like a whole year. Not 50. My goal is to finish it so if I just write some every week. Mm-hmm. Vampire novel.
And if you're not setting the 50 limit for yourself, like, right, you can kind of do
because I do want to do NaNoWriMo next year. I had a lot of fun doing it while I was doing it.
Yeah.
In 2 ways. We all complain about Roman this, Roman that, but Roman's had some really good matches lately.
Oh, yeah.
His match with Jason Jordan was good. It's just, like, nobody cared. But, like, this match with Cesaro, because people care about Cesaro, I feel like people are paying attention more, and this match was fucking so good.
Yeah, I feel like
some of the reversals were nuts.
I feel like Roman as a wrestler has, like, really proven that he's elevated a lot. Even just in the last, like, 3 or 4 months.
Sold like a motherfucker with all that arm stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that he did a really good job. And, like, I really feel like it just feels so, like, crystallized for me that all of my problems with Roman are really just creative and writing. And it's, like, hard to get past that sometimes. But he is a good wrestler, and I do like that. And I understand.
And he's not even terrible on the mic anymore. He's, like, not good, but he's not, like, the worst.
No, yeah, it's, like, they keep him.
No beanstalk.
Oh, my God. Yeah, thank God. They have him still, they have, like, a really strict idea of what he does, and they do limit his moveset in a lot of cases because they don't want him to get hurt, and so they...
Because he's their precious baby boy.
He's the precious baby boy, and so it can be really frustrating to see him all the time and see him using this limited moveset and knowing he's way better than that. And so it's nice to watch him be with someone like Cesaro who, like, really pushes him to be good on, like, just a regular show.
Yeah, Cesaro lost, but he looked fucking great.
Yeah, he looked excellent.
It was also interesting to see Dean versus Joe. Like, I never would have put that together.
Also, they said it was the first time they had ever faced each other one-on-one, and I was like, how is that possible? That is so weird to me.
Yeah. It wasn't my favorite match out of the three. It was probably my least favorite match out of the three. But
they have clunky chemistry.
They do have clunky
like
chemistry.
Seth and Joe have clunky chemistry, too. It kind of reminded me of that. Like, no wonder Dean and Seth are good partners because they have similar chemistry.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it was fun to add the, like, wrinkle of JJ in the chair and also to get... And also for JJ to get heat from his dad, the crowd, the bad guys, and now the good guys.
Yes, absolutely. Like, they've really effectively built this story. It was very confusing for a while, and it feels like they really hit their groove.
And also that backstage segment right before this match with Jason Jordan and Angle, where Jason Jordan was like, I'm sorry, and his dad was like, okay, and then he was like, but... It was like a perfect, like, shitty non-apology. Like, I'm sorry, but. Mm-hmm. And then, like, got in his face. I thought that was brilliant. I think what they're doing with Jason Jordan is a slow burn and can sometimes be annoying. But I think is actually, hopefully, knock on all the wood, will have a good payoff.
Yeah, I'm excited about
it. He could be such a monster heel.
Do you think we're going to find out that he's not actually Kurt's son?
I mean, hopefully.
Yeah. I feel like that's the perfect way to finally
illegitimate black son storyline. Maybe not great.
You're an idiot!
We tricked you this whole time just because I wanted to get more opportunities. Baha. And then Booker T is like, I knew it.
Oh my god, Booker T is going to be insufferable. But then he's a heel and then he's going to love him. He's going to be like, I was right all along. I knew this kid had what it took. You just had to do it the hard way.
So weird. There was a match between Mandy Rose, who made her in-ring debut, and Paige versus Sasha and Bailey and Mickey with Sasha on the outside. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes, sure. Yes. Sasha was on the outside. And
obviously not as good as Paige versus Sasha, because that was just, like, fucking great.
Yeah, that was excellent.
But I thought Mandy Rose, like, held her own in the ring, and I like that they're bringing in Bailey and Mickey, and I like that.
Yeah.
And later on when they had the Asuka versus Foxy, but then Foxy was taken out, and Absolution came to mess with Asuka, and then all of the locker room came. I think it's a good way to utilize their locker room right now. Because they do have more women than they are used to working with.
Yeah, and I feel like they're effectively using most of them. They're not just like, here's 3 groups of 3, send them on their way. Like, it does feel like they're trying to make these people mix in different ways, which is good.
Yeah. I also thought Paige's promo pre the first match was really good. And I thought her Asuka promo was good too. Paige is doing a great job.
Yeah, Paige is doing great.
Not a fan of the lipstick. But
it's okay.
It's just, like, overdrawn too much for me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Her lip liner, like, matches too closely, and it makes her mouth look really wide. It's
not even that it matches too closely. They line it too big.
Yeah.
Or she got, like, lip injections, and now her lips are crazy, which
also
maybe
possible.
Maybe is that, which is fine, but, like, also, like, I liked it when she had really heavy eye makeup, because, you know, people can complain about Paige's makeup, but Paige's always worn a lot of makeup.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I liked when she had really heavy eye makeup and then kind of, like, a neutral lip.
Mm. I liked when she had, like, the dark lipstick. She had that, like, black lipstick she wore right before she left.
Yeah, but it was, like, a dark gray. It wasn't black like Ruby Riot's black. It was, like, a dark gray. Mm. It was, like, it was in, like, a Maddie nude family.
Oh, okay.
I pay attention to their makeup too much.
Well, it's important.
It is important.
It means specific things.
I also love that Asuka was like, I don't know, if you 3 bitches want to come in this ring, I'm here.
Right. I'll beat the shit out of you. I don't even care.
She was like, I don't even give a fuck.
Right. Come for me. Asuka. Come for me, bitches.
Bitch. I also love how the crowd pops for Asuka's music. I love that the lights go down and everyone's like, yeah, fucking Asuka. I think it's great.
She transitioned so well. Like, I don't feel like any momentum was lost at all from her.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Good. They handled it very well.
Finn fought Curtis Axel. Sadly, not in the neck brace. I wish he would have kept the neck brace on.
She had the neck brace on,
It would have been way funnier.
We're for a fucking
But
year.
also, he had a pretty long
that
match,
shit.
and, like, good for Curtis Axel.
Yeah, I like Curtis Axel a lot. I don't understand why he is just a jobber. It's strange.
At least now he's a jobber with a character.
Yeah, that's true. He's a very defined character. Also, what is going on with Finn Balor? Like, does Vince McMahon hate him? I don't understand.
That's the thing. I think Vince McMahon does hate him.
Why? Just because he's little and people love him? Like,
because he looks like a sweaty frog.
Looks like a newt. It's different.
Yes, Paige looks like a frog.
Yeah, exactly. We have a diverse amphibian family on Raw, okay?
I don't know.
I feel sad for him.
I feel sad for him, but I also, like, never... I always, like, knew what Finn was and what he represented to people, and I, didn't really watch any of the Prince Devitt stuff, but, like, I get who he is, but he's never resonated with me. Like, I've enjoyed some of his matches and stuff, like, I'm not like, oh, I fucking hate Finn, but, like, he's never resonated with me, so I'm also, like, I'm not, like, heartbroken about it, but I, like, do feel bad, and I'm like, what happened?
It's so strange, too, because I feel like the biggest problem is that he's a great fucking heel, and they'll never let him be a heel, and his babyface character is boring. Is milk toast. Like, the most interesting thing about you is that you have a leather jacket and you do this fancy thing. And, like, yeah, the demon is super cool, but the time that it's the coolest is when you only do it every once in a while, which means we have to see milk toast most of the time. And, like, I love you, but why?
Yeah, it's not great. Okay. On board for the Woken universe.
Me too. I'm into it.
What Bray and Matt are doing is great. WWE graphics department need to cool their shit.
I love that they kept saying Woken and then breaking it, so it was Woken broken.
But I didn't love that it kept happening.
And that it kept happening over and over.
Once. And then be done with it. And we needed to do the Bray scary flashes of bullshit and bugs once and then be done with it.
That's their signature.
No, I get it. I intellectually understand. It was just, it, like, made the whole thing feel clunky, where it could have felt like them, like, attacking each other. They are doing a good job, but in true WWE form, they are part of the reason Broken worked is because it was so DIY, whatever, but, like, you throw this fancy graphic on it and it feels weird. Like, I don't like that.
But the fact that they kept doing it too many times does make it feel janky in a similar way that, like, original Broken did. And I do like that. Like, part of what was great about Broken is that it was fucking weird and they did weird shit.
Yeah, but it didn't feel janky and, like, we're just, like, DIY guerrilla theater. It felt janky and, like, in a Chicago Shakespeare way where it's like, we have too much money, we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, okay.
That's a local reference.
Fair.
I love Shakespeare a lot. I fucking hate the Chicago Shakespeare Theater.
They burn money for no reason.
I have never almost walked out of a theater before, but I was, like, seething. I stood up to walk out, and, like, my boyfriend at the time, like, was like, you need to sit down. We paid for these tickets. And I was like, I am so deeply offended. Deeply offended. Anyways, that's how it feels. It doesn't feel like, just using theater metaphors. Everybody gets it.
Everyone understands what that means.
Dana has officially joined Titus Worldwide.
Worldwide Underground.
Worldwide Underground. That would be a different show. Titus Worldwide. And Apollo had a lot of energy. I was like, oh, Apollo, you have a personality. This is nice.
This is good. Keep up this.
I love that the club came over and they basically were, like, about to fight over Dana, but not in, like, a, like, she's our girlfriend, in more like a, no, Dana, you don't belong with the nerds.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot. But I also love that before it got, like, weird or went off the rails, Braun was just like,
everyone was scattered because Braun was like, I'm marching for the next 3 segments.
It was a fun throwaway scene.
I loved it. I thought it was really smart too because it feels like I was watching it with Devin and he was like, oh, this is probably like they're gonna do this on like main event, and like that makes sense to like. I liked this throwaway scene because it made me see these characters that I like a lot and want extra context for, but don't necessarily need to see a bunch of their shit right away.
And Dana doesn't really necessarily need to be in with the women's picture right now. She can be this ancillary pseudo manager, receptionist, whatever. She works in a accounting, I don't know, accounts receivable. Who knows? I just thought it was fun.
I liked it a lot.
Then there was Kane versus Braun. Which,
whatever. I did not really pay attention to this match. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it ended in a DQ so quickly, and then was just like a random beatdown. Then it was like, all right.
Oh yeah, that's true. It felt like
the match itself didn't matter at all. The beatdowns were kind of interesting.
That's right, because they spent all that time talking about how they reinforced the ring, and then it ended in a double count out.
Yeah, and then most of the action was like on the outside of the ring, anyways.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm fine with it being Braun and Kane and Brock because like I don't want them to throw Braun to Brock.
Yeah.
Kane can obviously eat the pin. They're not going to take it off Brock right now. Whatever. That's fine to me.
Yeah, that's
We just see 3 giants run into each other fast. That's fine with me.
That's fine.
I don't care.
I can deal with it.
Brock's the champion. These are the things that we have to deal with.
Until it leaves WrestleMania. And then it'll be
I will
Roman.
take literally anybody else. I'll take Roman. I don't care. I'll take literally anybody over. I will take Paul Heyman as champ over Brock Lesnar. I will take anybody. I will take, name a person, and I will say yes to them.
Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
I think I might as well.
Yes. If he's going to be there every
he's
week.
around, yeah. That's
Fucking
true.
yes. And if he's not going to step... Dolph Ziggler might be a lot of things, but I don't think he's going to step on a bunch of baby birds.
You're right. I think
He might be a lot of things. He might sit them down and explain his terrible politics to them. And those birds will,
poop and be like, I'm done with this. Goodbye,
like,
stranger.
Hi, we're out. We're birds. We don't vote. Why is that funny?
We're birds. We don't vote.
They don't.
Reminds me of my dad's parents and his sister said, my mom was like, oh, you haven't RSVP'd to Erin's wedding? And they responded, we don't RSVP.
Wow.
Such
Extra.
assholes.
Did they show up?
No, of course not. They're
Dicks.
dicks. I didn't count them. I was like, don't give them seats. If they show up, they can sit outside.
They can sit on the ground. Cedric won the
Yes.
four-way. Mm-hmm. And then there was a backstage segment. There was like a lot of interesting between Raw and 205 Live. There was a lot of interesting Drew and Enzo back and forth.
Yes, I like that
That'll be interesting.
They're like turning Drew face. It's awesome.
I also
it's
love
weird.
that with the way that Nia started flirting with Enzo, but also was like really nice to Drew. It
Yeah.
was like a heel recognizes heel. Like, we're good. I love your PowerPoints.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
I really want Nia to be like catfishing him and then just like tear him apart.
Yes, that would be excellent.
Please, it's the only way that this is okay.
I love how adorable Drew was too when he was like, when Enzo was like, Nia Jax, blah blah blah, and he goes, you said Nia Jax. Wait a minute, why'd you? Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. I was like, this is so adorable.
Drew is the best.
So adorable. I love it.
His like face and reaction to him having to like take out his boyfriend was so sad. Mm-hmm. At the end of 205 Live, Enzo like set up Enzo versus Tony Nese to teach him a lesson. Daivari was on the Zoe train. They made Drew beat up his boyfriend.
It was really, really sad, and I was really upset.
Drew basically did the whole time being like, "Is this what you want? Is this what you want from me?" Mm-hmm. I really want Drew to win this cruiserweight title.
Me too.
I want Cedric. I mean, it's kind of like a win-win if it's Cedric, or I'm really surprised that Hideo is premiering next week. I thought for sure it would be after this cruiserweight title thing is figured out.
Isn't that this Sunday?
No, they don't wrestle at Clash of Champions. They wrestle on Raw pay-per-views.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Right, so next Monday, they have the match between Drew and Cedric. And then I assume at the Rumble was when the belt switch, or the match at least, happens. But it seems like they're going to bring Hideo on and do what they did with Nia and just feed him some jobbers for a while, which, like,
Why?
I don't love that approach because I feel it takes a lot of steam out of people. Mm-hmm. It didn't with Nia, it didn't with Asuka, but she also didn't do that for that long. She was also doing it with people on the roster. Maybe it happens with people on the roster.
Yeah, they do have enough people on the 205 roster.
I just assumed that they would, like, bring him in to fuck with the title.
To immediately be in the title,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they think people don't know him well enough.
I love Hideo Itami. He's also, like...
I know, he's great.
Recently, I've come to appreciate how good looking he is.
Oh, he is fine.
He's so hot.
He's so fine. He looks so good in a suit.
He's so hot.
Absolutely delicious.
Did you eat your nuts?
Right.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Yeah, 205 Live's good. Everyone should be watching 205 Live.
The other match that we didn't talk about was on 205 Live, Gallagher versus Kalisto.
Yes.
Kalisto won, then they started beating him up, and then Grand Metalik. I like that these four people are in a feud that has nothing to do with the title picture.
Yeah.
But they consistently talk about the title.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's still the main prize. It's still what we're here for. But they're coming at it from a different angle. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, I agree. They're doing a really good job of having different layers within the division.
Yes, it's not just different belts or different, like, oh, this is the mid-card. It is like, yeah, it's a layer. Mm-hmm. I like that. SmackDown. We need to come up with a SmackDown song.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Because let's talk about SmackDown, baby. Doesn't
no, it doesn't.
doesn't really work. Super SmackDown. I don't know.
We'll get back to it. Put a pin in that one.
Let's call Clash of Champions the last pay-per-view in a year full of so many pay-per-views. Also, I think there's an ROH pay-per-view this Friday. I just haven't watched ROH in a minute, but I'm going to watch this pay-per-view so that I can jump back in the ROH train.
I think this is the one where Dalton Castle's fighting Cody Rhodes for the title, too.
Woo!
Good.
Boys.
Yes.
Anyways, redirect. Clash of Champions.
All right.
Pre-show. Mojo Rawley versus Zack Ryder.
Mojo Rawley. I think Zack Ryder gets to say his piece about why it's not totally his fault, but then Mojo will win.
But it's also the 1 year anniversary of Zack Ryder's knee explosion.
Yeah, that's true. I guess if Zack Ryder wins, Mojo has more reason to continue being pissed. So yeah, I rescind my idea. I go with Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder because fuck Mojo Rawley.
Yeah.
I mean, not fuck him. He's just boring. And
I
Zack
just
Ryder's
don't
one
care
of my
about his
boos.
character at all.
Zack Ryder's one of my boos.
Yes.
The Bludgeon Brothers versus Breezango.
Bludgeon Brothers are definitely gonna win.
Also, how insulting that Fashion Violence was on the internet.
I know. I was like, WWE.com. Excuse me. What? I think the fuck not.
Insulting.
So insulting. I hate it. I love too the Ascension being like, we'll do anything to help our friends, and they're still like, we're not friends.
We don't want to be your friends.
Friends.
Yeah, I love that how reluctantly Fandango and Breezango were like, yeah, fine.
I bet what's going to happen is that the Bludgeon Brothers are going to beat the shit out of Breezango, and then the Ascension are going to come out to rescue
Save
them. Are
them.
going to come out to rescue their best friends, and then it'll set up some kind of feud between the Ascension and the Bludgeon Brothers because, duh. Why would you not have them fight each other?
Oh, Erin, that's too good. It's not going to happen.
I know. I really am I need to manifest this into the universe now.
Anytime a booking is too good, it doesn't happen. Because that is too good. That's fucking brilliant.
It makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Man.
It's just going to be a pure squash.
No. Don't say it.
Tag team 3-way, the Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, who are bad guys.
Right.
They're acting like dicks.
They're fucking bad guys. They cheat. They're kind of dicks.
That promo that Gable gave where he was like, "Where are the masters?" I was like, well, you are lucky that your partner is black because you were talking to 3 black men and 2 non-white men.
Yeah.
This is uncomfortable, white boy. But I guess your partner is black, so it's fine. Uncomfortable. Yeah, he was like, "You're the dogs and we're the masters," and I was like, "Can we not?
Oh
Can we not?"
Let Shelton Benjamin say that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin versus The New Day versus Rusev and Aiden English.
I hope Rusev and Aiden English win.
Yeah, Rusev Day.
There is no reason for them to be this good, and they pinned Aiden English pinned an Uso.
And they beat New Day the week before that.
Yeah, their tag team is doing very well, and it makes me feel like they're gonna pin Shelton, Benjamin, and or Gable and win off of them. They already pinned the Usos and the New Day, so they don't have to pin them to take the belts off of them in this case.
Right.
Have them do this throwaway team. And it also gives Alpha 2.0 a reason to be even bigger heelish dicks. Oh, we lost only because you took advantage of this.
Also, the crowd loves Rusev and Aiden English, so for them to be pseudo baby faces would work.
I know, it's weird that they're we're dicks. I also love that Aiden English has just been I'm the new Lana. I'm Lana now. Just accept it. I'm Lana. I fucking love that. I think it's so funny. And also, Aiden English is great.
And he's fucking excellent.
And he's obviously a very good tag team
Chicago
wrestler.
proud.
Ugh. He's married to the Guerrero family. He must be at least decently cool. There's no way you get into that family
Vicky
without
don't
being...
play.
I know, right? There's no way Vicky was some jabroni can marry my daughter. I don't think so.
Vicky don't play. I think, yeah, fuck it. Rusev and Aiden English.
Yay!
We're all in agreement.
Yay!
United States Champion, Baron Corbin versus Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. I'm saying fucking Dolph Ziggler.
I cannot manifest that into the universe, so I'm saying Bobby Roode.
It's gonna be Dolph Ziggler. He either wins or gets pinned. It's no in between.
Agreed. I think you're right.
No in between.
I think Bobby Roode pins Dolph Ziggler. That way he and Baron Corbin can have a thing afterwards where it's like, well, you didn't actually pin me. And then Dolph Ziggler can fade into obscurity.
Or Dolph Ziggler totally wins.
Ugh. Who does he pin? He can't pin Bobby Roode.
Yeah, Baron Corbin, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about him.
Yeah, that's true.
Women's
LOL.
Championship. Charlotte Flair versus Natalya in a lumberjack match.
Definitely Charlotte.
Yeah. 100% Charlotte. Unless the Riot Squad really fucks around and Natalya gets the win because the Riot Squad was really fucking with Charlotte, and that sets up a feud with Charlotte and Ruby.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, my gut always says Charlotte. Like, is Charlotte defending a championship? Charlotte wins. That's my gut.
Could Carmella cash in?
This seems like such... Why would you cash in a lumberjack match when so many other people could fuck around with you?
If everyone else is beating the shit out of each other, though, and the champion just had the shit beaten out of them, it seems like a perfect time to cash in.
I don't know, man. I don't think she's gonna cash in.
All right.
That's...
I feel like there's just so much chaos. It would be like it would totally make sense to cash in like the chaos of that moment.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Charlotte wins, and it's not as like fun as we think it's gonna be.
Yeah, I think that Charlotte just handily wins.
Handily wins with some shenanigans. All right, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura with Shane McMahon and General Manager Daniel Bryan as special guest referees. If Sami and Kevin lose, they're fired.
This is definitely the main event. There's no way that they're gonna put anything on after this. This is gotta be the main event. I mean, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens win. They don't get fired. Like, that's the thing. It's like they're not gonna get fired.
Daniel Bryan. Shane heel turns and Daniel Bryan's like, no,
Yeah.
we call this down the middle. And then Shane turns on Daniel,
Yeah.
but Sami and Kevin win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got to also
Their shirts with their little P's just taped on.
I know, that was really
The
funny.
way that WWE quickly made a yep shirt, I was like, I want to buy this, but also it's not as fun as the P's just taped on.
Yeah, I want it to look like the P's are at least taped onto it, for sure, obviously. Also, like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Sami Zayn is listed in the mixed tag tournament. He's not getting fired. Like, it was a really dumb piece of marketing to include him on that graphic. It made no sense.
Yeah, but they could fire him and take him off the graphic.
I guess that's true, but it's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm excited for this match. I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see what happens with it. Like, it's gonna
even
be good.
my deep hatred of Randy Orton isn't making me sad.
Yeah, like, whatever. This is gonna be interesting.
Also, like, do something with Shinsuke.
Oh my god.
Nick said the other day, he was like, I get who Shinsuke Nakamura is because of you, but, like, if I was just, like, somebody sitting on my couch who had never known him before, I would not like him.
Yeah, they don't use him well at all. They have no idea what to do with him.
Yeah.
He just seems like he's floating around as, like, this weird personality who, like, every once in a while has a brutal fucking match, and then most of the other time it's just like, what is happening here? This is so bizarre.
Hopefully this will give him a chance to shine a little bit.
And also, like, he and Sami had a fucking phenomenal match together. And he and Kevin Owens have had great matches together, too. So I feel like it's not like Shinsuke has to wrestle with Randy Orton, and he doesn't have to wrestle Randy Orton. So I feel like we're going to get these combinations of Shinsuke with people that we like. So at least there's that.
WWE Championship, AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal.
AJ Styles. I feel like...
I really wish the Singh brothers would leave Jinder and they would go back to putting earrings in their ears and dancing all around.
I know, and I don't want them to dress the same anymore. I like how they brought that up. Like, he makes us dress the same. Like, yeah, I remember when you wore different shirts, and I liked that.
When they made the butter chicken comment, Nick was like, oh, and I was like, I don't know. Those guys were actually born in India, and I feel like if anybody's going to say it, they can say it.
Yeah, I agree.
They were, like, literally born there. So, like... And they were just playing on stereotypes. Like, that's their bad guy type. Like, that to me made sense to them be like, you're a dumb white guy. We're going to make this racist stereotype, and then you will like us and enjoy us to be... Invite us to be in your entourage. But AJ was like, nah, I know what you're doing. But that just made sense to me. So, like, I get why maybe some people ruffled at it, but I was like...
Yeah, it didn't, like, strike me as...
Yeah. It wasn't like
felt appropriate for their
Jinder
characters.
Mahal being like, oh, let's make fun of the way Asian people talk.
Yeah.
Or South Asian people talk. Because technically India is in Asia. Whatever.
Whatever.
Geography. AJ Styles wins.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Any other thoughts about wrestling?
No.
Want to do some fun would you rathers from our demis?
Sure. I do have a question that's not a would you rather first. It's about EC3, so I figured you'd want to do it.
Ooh, EC3.
Okay. This is from Joe_crack. Future podcast question. If EC3 did return to NXT, do y'all think that they would bring him back as Derek Bateman again? If so, thoughts and feelings. Or do you think they'd bring him back as EC3?
I think they'd bring him back as EC3 at this point.
Yeah, I think you might be right. He
Yeah.
looks different enough too that I think
He looks different. He has such an established character in a way that was different than Chris Hero. Chris Hero is mostly off TV indie stuff.
Yeah.
And EC3 is just like, it is who he is now.
Yeah,
like,
that's what he's known for, is being EC3.
I don't think they would call him Ethan Carter III.
I think that they absolutely might,
really
because Dixie doesn't work for that company anymore.
That's true.
And so if they trademark that name, I think that Vince McMahon
I think they would just call him EC3.
1,000% be like, oh, I think Vince McMahon would 1,000% want to trademark that name because it's an extra fuck you to this company that he hates. Like, I think he would totally do that. I think they would probably call him EC3 the most, but they would have to introduce him and like say this is what his name is.
We have one more question in an email.
Ooh, an email.
This one's from Nick Savio. Hi, really big fan of the show and the perspective it brings to wrestling. My question is, how do you handle shows that book problematic wrestlers? Topical.
Yep.
I live in New Jersey, and some of the biggest promotions in the state often book garbage people on their shows. WrestlePro had a show this past week with Alberto El Patron, and fuck that dude. Have no interest in seeing him anymore. Game Changer Wrestling routinely books Teddy Hart, an accused rapist, and Schlock, possibly neo-Nazi and definite misogynist. Recently, I went to a Jersey All-Pro Wrestling show that had Michael Elgin versus Schlock, so fitting with what we now know. What's your opinion on attending these shows? Should I continue to patronize the wrestlers I enjoy and want to support, or should I boycott? So far, I've refused to go to any show with Teddy Hart on it because of the rape accusations and my belief he abuses cats by bringing them into the wrestling ring.
I agree.
I absolutely agree.
It really bothers me that he does that.
Also, like, don't fuck with cats.
Yeah.
But what else is appropriate? Thanks for the podcast, Nick. I think this is a very difficult question because it deals a lot with your personal lines.
Yeah.
Like, what are your hard lines? Like, you clearly have a hard line with Teddy Hart, like a specific like rape accusation, not just like, you know, he grabbed my butt, but like a really big deal.
Yeah.
And the abuse of animals. Those seem to be very hard, definite lines for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely stick to your guns. Don't go to those short shows. Don't patronize them. Because also indie shows are so small. You're putting yourself in a very intimate space with somebody you know you have those big feelings for.
Absolutely agree.
But there are other things like, I don't know, like Alberto El Patron, like he's going to be on a lot of shows. He is a total shitbag. Mm-hmm. But if he's going to be on all your shows and Teddy Hart's not on them and you're already boycotting all the Teddy Hart shows, like if you don't go to those shows, you're going to miss all the wrestling.
Right, exactly.
So I feel like the problem is you really have to find your hard lines and which ones that you're like for me, I've gone to a lot of shows with Michael Elgin on. Mm-hmm. I've hated him for a very long time. Yeah. Obviously, the recent news makes me hate him even more. I feel like right now in this political climate, like if he was booked on a show that I was going to tomorrow, I would definitely boycott it.
Yeah.
If he was booked on a show 2 years from now, I might still go to that show.
Yeah. I feel like part of it too is, I feel like when things are especially prominent, like...
Wait, but I would be vocal as fuck.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I feel like part of it too, there are... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to say this too. I think that there are two ways that you can react to it. I think you can be really loud and be like, fuck this dude. This dude's a piece of shit. This dude pisses on women and thinks it's funny. Like, you can say that kind of stuff. And
I literally was so loud at a show that he called me out because I was obnoxiously loud. Because I stood up when everybody else was sitting and I booed him while everybody else was cheering. Because I was like, I said to Erin, I want to look in his eyes. I want him to look in my eyes and know how much I hate him.
And he did. He fucking did.
So you can do that.
So you can do that stuff. And I would also recommend if there are people who are not booked as, like, headliners on shows but are shitbags, like, for instance, Sean Orleans, who it just came out, did a bunch of shitty stuff. And if he gets booked on shows later, like, would be... I don't know that I would boycott a show if he was on it, but I would be uncomfortable knowing that he, like, sexually assaulted a woman and put a camera in her room. Like, that's I don't want to be associated with that. And I feel like in those cases, you can go to support other people. There's a twofold thing that you can do. You can go and make sure you spend money on people that you like and support and who are not shitbags, and so you're showing the promotion, like, these are the people that I'm here to support. Like, they notice that stuff. And the people who sell a lot of merch tell the promotions that they're at, like, I want to bring more and I want to come back because people treat me well here. And if other people are like, no one buys my merch, it's like, because you're a piece of shit. Also, bring a book. Sit down and read a fucking book.
That's a classic Erin move.
It is so effective. People immediately notice and get really angry sometimes. They're like, I can't believe you do this. Like, this person's a piece of shit. I don't want to watch their match. I'm here to see other people, and that's what I paid my money for. I'm gonna read my fucking book right now. And they'll see you, and they will notice, and they know right away, like, ooh. So that's... Like, I definitely recommend that.
Or a big, comically large newspaper.
Yeah, bring a comically large newspaper and just be like, fuck this person. I think that there are effective ways to do that where you can still support the people that you care about and who you may not have other places that you can see them and make a really clear statement. Like, I am not standing up for this person. I am sitting down and I'm reading my fucking book.
Also, we live in an age where you can contact the promoters. Like,
yeah.
You can send an email to some of these promoters or tweet at them and be like, hey, I really want to come support you, but know that I will never come if you book this person. Or
yeah.
I really don't want to bring my friends to the show, and me and my friends are not going to go to the show. Or you know, like, you can use your voice effectively that way.
Yeah.
But I think it really comes down to, like, you have to make... Because wrestling is a business fraught and full of shitty people doing shitty things, but also with really wonderful people.
Business.
Like, yeah, so you have to just really have a conversation with yourself and be like, is this a line I'm willing to cross? Is it not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's tough.
I remember...
Godspeed.
I went to every AAW show for almost a year, and then they booked... oh my god, he used to be Adam Rose. I can't remember what his indie name was.
Oh yeah, who cares?
Right after he got fired for beating his wife and got arrested for it. The charges were later cleared, but it's still like, I'm not gonna, like,
why would you book somebody when they
exactly.
don't have the charges cleared?
Yeah,
in the midst of this thing.
If you're capitalizing on a moment where the moment is this person is a shitbag, like, I'm not gonna go to those shows. I think that that's a good line to draw as well. Like, are you capitalizing on the fact that people are talking about this person because of their domestic violence? Like Bram, for example, like, the reason he's talked about a lot right now is not because his wrestling is good, it's because he's a domestic abuser. And so if you're, as a company, trying to capitalize on that, like, notoriety of name, then I think that that's an appropriate hard line too, to be like, I'm not going to support that you know this person because he's a shitbag and now you're booking him to draw names just because he's a name. Like, that. So when they booked Adam Rose, I was like, I'm not going. And I said that to a bunch, and I told Courtney Rose and was like, you can tell everybody at AEW, like, I came to every fucking show for a year and I will hard cut it off. Like, yeah. And I stopped going until he stopped being a wrestler. Like, and Courtney told me at the time too, she was like, you know, they only book him out in LaSalle and not at, like, Berwyn or at the Bourbon Street. And I was like, I don't care. Like, if you're booking him anywhere, that means that you don't care as a company. And, like, that's why it was nice to see them with Michael Elgin be like, you're done. You're not coming here anymore.
Michael Elgin, who's one of their, like, guys.
Yeah, he's one of their guys too. So to see them, like, do that with him was really nice.
But they did it really begrudgingly. Like, oh, our fans are being such bitches about this.
Yeah, but whatever. I'll be a bitch about it. Yeah. I spend a shitload of money at your company. Like, I don't want any of it to go to this person.
Absolutely.
Ugh. Yeah, Godspeed. You can do it.
Thank you for your question. Okay, so I asked for some would you rathers on Twitter, and we got a lot of them. So we'll save some of them. But just as, like, a thing, like, I want the weird ones. I want, like, would you rather, like, lick Dolph Ziggler's foot, or, you know, like, the weird ones. Not just, like, do you want to take a powerbomb or a, like, shooting star press? Those ones are fine. But also, like, would you rather should be, like, a gross game. But not, like...
Not gross.
Don't cross a line.
Yeah.
But,
gross is the wrong word to use there. An
yes.
interesting game. You should present interesting scenarios.
Okay, here's not a gross one, but a good one. Would you rather book Shane as the SD World, or the SmackDown World Champion, or Stephanie as the Raw Women's Champion?
Jesus, those are both terrible. What's the lesser of two evils there? I guess Stephanie is the Raw Women's Champion. It would be so obnoxious.
Honestly, I want to say Stephanie because, like, girl power or whatever, but I think Shane as the SmackDown World Champion would be better because it would lead to better storylines of who's going to come kick his ass. Whereas Stephanie would just feel like a weird power grab, like women's evolution, it's all about me.
Yeah,
whereas like the Shane McMahon thing would feel more in line with like the history of
character is,
WWE and his character, and like there could be interesting storylines that could come off of that one.
Yeah, I guess character-wise and storyline-wise, I would pick Shane. What would I, as a human, rather see? I guess Stephanie.
Right, yeah, totally.
So I'm a little split on that one.
Okay, well, this is a question that I feel like I can't answer correctly because I've never had one of them, but it's, would you rather drink more of the Bella Radici wine or drink a Broken Skull IPA? I don't know shit about beer because they all taste shitty to me.
I've never had a Broken Skull IPA. I like IPAs okay, but they are very hoppy and are like...
Is Broken Skull like notoriously bad?
I don't know if it's notoriously bad. It doesn't seem great to me, but...
You know what? I'm going to say the Broken Skull IPA because it's way cheaper than this Bella Radici wine.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. And I haven't tried it yet, so I want to know the
also,
answer.
this episode of Total Divas, the Bella twins were sipping the red and, like, gushing over it. And I was like, did I just get a bad bottle? Because this shit was bad. Not just like, whatever. Bad.
Yeah, Yellowtail bad.
Also, I am considering buying the next batch of wine.
You're so ridiculous. So your answer is clearly the Bella Radici.
They're different flavors. I want to know what their Chardonnay tastes like.
I mean, what was their last one? What was the white one? It was
the white one was fine.
What was it though?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would be interested in what their Chardonnay is. If they're gonna charge fucking $50 a bottle, it better be a good ass Chardonnay.
Oh my god. Would you rather take a semester of politics course taught by Dolph Ziggler or be stuck in an elevator with TJP flirting with you?
Oh, no. Oh, that made me physically uncomfortable to think about being stuck in an elevator with TJP. So I guess Dolph Ziggler, even though I would just be like furious.
Yeah, but the thing with
time.
the politics class, you can be mouthy in class.
Yeah, that's true. If you're in a politics class, I'd be like, I think the fuck not.
Also, like, it would be interesting to hear his actual views because he's always like, well, I don't say anything. I'm just like,
That's a good point. I would love to have him for an entire semester have to be like, here's some politics. Like,
I just have to raise my hand and be like, actually, Dolph. Actually, Professor Ziegler. This is how it really is.
Professor Ziegler.
Okay, last one for this week, and then we'll save these for next time. Would you rather have a closed-door meeting about your future in WWE with Mark Carrano, or teach Lana a dance for a SmackDown Live where your job depends on her success?
What a good question.
I would definitely just hang out with Lana because A, she's my best friend, and B, Mark Carrano is gross.
Yeah, I don't want to have any kind of closed-door meeting with Mark Carrano.
No, thank you.
I don't like the idea of that. Here's the thing about teaching Lana a dance.
Well, you don't know how to dance. Step one for you.
No, I can dance. I'm actually better at choreographing a dance because I can like see it in my head.
Yeah.
And I was a dancer for a long time, so I have like the language for it, just not the skill. I'm just not flexible. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I'm actually a very good tap dancer and Irish dancer because it takes very little movement of your body. Obviously. So yeah, if I had to like teach Lana an Irish dance, I could probably do that.
Hilarious.
It would be very
Russian
weird.
step dance. I would teach her the like raunchiest.
Oh yeah, you
chair
teach her
dance.
like a for real chair
I'm not
dance.
even like a raunchy burlesque dancer, but I would be like, let's do this.
Right? I will make your career survive.
Because like she can do moves that I can't do, so I would be like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's why like you have that like vision of like I can see somebody doing this, I just cannot physically do it myself. I feel like I feel like Lana would be okay to teach a dance too. She clearly is also really dedicated and tries really fucking hard, even if she's not great at stuff.
Also, again, she is my best friend.
Yeah, and also she's Stella's best friend.
Okay, there's some other really good ones. We're going to save them. This will be like a running new little... I like to have like a little nice fun thing to end on.
Yeah.
And
I
I
like
don't
having
want
a
a
segment.
gimmick infringement, Marty and Sarah. So we're going to Would You Rather. All right, that's it. Any other thoughts?
No, I think that's it.
All right, remember that you can find us on iTunes and that you should rate, review, and subscribe.
You should send us an email at notyourdemo@gmail.com.
You can find us on cagesideseats.com and at notyourdemo.tumblr, notyourdemographic.tumblr.com.
Yes. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at ErnJC.
I'm at Stella_Cheeks, and when you tweet at us, make sure you use the hashtag #NotYourDemoPod.
Yes.
Because that is how you communicate with us.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. All right. See you next week, everybody. Demis.
Yeah. Terrible, actually.
Yeah, it's much better than I was expecting.
It does taste like cotton candy.
Yeah,
though.
it's fucking weird.
It's cotton candy tea.
It is pretty good though. I would make another glass of this.
But it like legitimately tastes like cotton candy.
I know, but it's not overwhelming. It's not like super sweet.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like artificial cotton candy. It just actually tastes like cotton candy.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, cotton candy is artificial. You know what I mean. Okay.
You've reached the Holiday Helpline. We turn the holidays into holidays.
Help, my family's decked the halls with boughs of holly, but our cozy clothes aren't very jolly.
Just go to Old Navy.
Old Navy?
Yep, the entire store's up to 60% off, plus all sleepwear and all sweaters are on sale.
Up to 60% off the entire store? Fa la la.
Sleepwear starts at just $7 for adults, $8 for kids, with sweaters from $10 for adults, $8 for kids at Old Navy and OldNavy.com.
'Tis the season to go to Old Navy.
Turn your holiday into a holiday. Get to Old Navy today. Valid 12/13 to 12/19. Excludes in-store clearance, gift cards, register lane items, jewelry today only, and 2-day only deals. You've reached the Holiday Helpline. We turn the holidays into holidays.
Help, my family's decked the halls with boughs of holly, but our cozy clothes aren't very jolly.
Just go to Old Navy.
Old Navy?
Yep, the entire store's up to 60% off, plus all sleepwear and all sweaters are on sale.
Up to 60% off the entire store? Fa la la.
Sleepwear starts at just $7 for adults, $8 for kids, with sweaters from $10 for adults, $8 for kids at Old Navy and OldNavy.com.
'Tis the season to go to Old Navy.
Turn your holiday into a holiday. Get to Old Navy today. Valid 12/13 to 12/19. Excludes in-store clearance, gift cards, register lane items, jewelry today only, and 2-day only deals.